Question is divide the polynomial p of x is equal to 2x cubed plus x squared plus 2x minus 1 by 1 plus 2x. The first thing I'm going to look at is that notice my polynomial starts with the highest degree and then decreases from the terms in left to right. So I'm going to do the same thing with my divisor. So I'm just going to rearrange this as 2x plus 1. Then I'm going to look at doing my long division. So I have 2x plus 1, and then I'm going to place my polynomial underneath here. The first step is I need to think about 2x cubed divided by 2x. And my answer ends up being x squared. Or another way to think about it is how many times does 2x go into 2x cubed? Then my next step is I need to multiply this on the top by my entire divisor here. So here I have x squared times 2x, so that's going to give me 2x cubed. And then I have x squared times 1, and that gives me x squared. And then I subtract this. Now you can just leave this as 0, but I sometimes like to leave the pronumeral there just to make sure I have everything lined up correctly. Then I'm going to bring down the next term in my polynomial, which is 2x, and I'm going to repeat this process again. So 0x squared divided by 2x is going to be 0. Then what I need to do is multiply this by both of these terms here. So 0 times 2x is 0x squared, and then 0 times 1 is 0. So then I subtract them. So then I get 2x minus 0 will leave me with 2x. I'm then going to bring down the final term in my polynomial, which is minus 1. So here I have 2x divided by 2x, so that's going to be 1. Then I'm going to multiply this 1 by 2x plus 1. So all of that times 1 will be 2x. 2x plus 1, and then I'm going to subtract. So here, I'm going to be left with minus 2. So here, this polynomial, I can rewrite this as 2x plus 1 times x squared plus 1 with a remainder of minus 2. So there I have my polynomial. It's divided by 2x plus 1, and in this case, I have a remainder of minus 2. The remainder when the polynomial p of x is equal to x to the 4 minus x cubed minus 7x squared plus 3 is divided by x squared plus x is ax plus 3. So what is the value of a? Despite there being numerous terms in this question, the first thing I'm going to highlight is I have some polynomial here, and that when I divide it by x squared plus x, I'm going to get a remainder that is ax plus 3. And a is the value I need to find. So I'm going to do my long division, and then I should end up with a remainder in the form of that linear expression there. So I'm going to set myself up. So I'm going to have x squared plus x, and then I'm going to set up my long division so the polynomial is under here. Make sure that when I'm setting up my polynomial, that every place value is accounted for. So notice I have x to the 4, x to the 3, x to the squared. Notice there is no x in my polynomial, but I still need to put a place for it because it is like place value. And my long division will not work if I ignore the x value in this polynomial. So my first step is I have x to the power of 4 divided by x squared. So that gives me x squared. Then I'm going to take this x squared and multiply it by x squared plus x. So x squared times x squared is going to give me x to the power of 4. Then x squared times x is going to give me plus x3. And then I subtract the terms. Then I have minus 8 minus 1, so I have minus 9x cubed, and then I bring down the next term in my polynomial, and I repeat that process again. So minus 9x cubed divided by x squared is going to be minus 9x, and then I'm going to take this term and multiply it by x squared plus x. So minus 9x times x squared gives me minus 9x cubed. And then minus 9x times x is going to give me minus 9x squared. And then I'm going to take those away. Two negatives make a positive, so minus 7 plus 9 gives me 2x squared. I bring down my next term and I repeat again. So 2x squared divided by x squared is going to give me 2. And then I'm going to do 2 multiplied by all of x squared plus x. So I have 2 times x squared is 2x squared plus 2x, and then I'm going to subtract. So then I end up with minus 2x, and then I bring down the final term plus 3. And notice that this remainder is the same format as my ax plus b plus 3. So therefore, a will be equal to minus 2. We're then going to move to the third example. So divide the polynomial by this particular quadratic. So I'm dividing this polynomial here by this quadratic here. And we want to express our answer in this form here, where I have the divisor times the divisor times the quotient, and I'm left with a remainder. So here, I'm going to set up my long division. So I have my quadratic x squared plus 2x minus 1. And then I'm going to bring my polynomial underneath here. So here, it's very similar to what we were doing before. We're going to follow the same process, except this time I've got an extra term here. I've got an extra term that I'm going to have to account for. So very similar process to start with. I'm going to start with x to the power of 4 divided by x squared. And that is going to give me x squared. Now here, I'm then going to have x squared multiplied by this entire quadratic here. So I'm going to start with x squared times x squared. So that gives me x to the power of 4. Then I have x squared times 2x, which gives me plus 2x cubed. And then I have x squared times minus 1, which gives me minus x squared. And then I'm going to subtract everything. So here I'm left with 0. I've got minus 2, so I have minus 4x cubed. 4 plus 1 will give me 5x squared, because remember these negatives make a positive. And then as per my previous examples, I'm going to bring the next term down in the polynomial, which is 2x. I'm then going to repeat this process again. So I have minus 4x cubed divided by x squared, which is minus 4x. Then underneath, I'm going to do minus 4x times x squared. So that's minus 4x cubed. Minus 4x times 2x will give me minus 8x squared. And minus 4x times minus 1 will give me plus 4x. And then I subtract all of this together. So I have 0, then 5 plus 8 will give me 13x squared. Then 2x minus 4x will give me minus 2x. Then I carry down my final term, which is plus 5, and I repeat again. 13x squared divided by x squared gives me plus 13. And then I do 13 times x squared, which is 13x squared. I have 13 times 2x, which is 26x. And then I have 13 times minus 1, which is going to be minus 13. And then I subtract. So here, what I end up with is minus 2x minus 26x, which is minus 28x. Then 5 plus 13 will be 18. So this here is actually going to be my remainder. So finally, the question wants me to write my answer in this notation here. So what I have is I have my polynomial p of x. A of x is going to be my divisor, so that's going to be x squared plus 2x minus 1 times the quotient, which is x squared minus 4x plus 13, and then plus the remainder, which is going to be minus 28x plus 18.